have some adobo, parsley, cayenne, onion powder. This is coconut oil, pressed, I'm sorry, garlic. Don't mind my toaster oven over there. We're still renovating and we're still not finished. We're doing a lot of stuff on our own, so it's taking a while in between work and everything else. I have some black pepper, some stir fry, teriyaki, sweet and sour. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all three of these yet. I'm not really sure. I have some broccoli, some bok chow, some carrots, some green bell peppers, onions, and I may add something else in there. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this meal, but it's chopped seuy. So you can pretty much put any vegetables you want in here. Here's my chicken. I'm going to clean it off because you see this, we don't need to eat all of that fat. So I'm going to actually clean that off. I already washed it, so I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. And then I will let you see the end product after I clean it. Hi, welcome back to the Jules to Life. This is Julia. Now today we are going to cook chicken chop suey with white rice. My version. If you're new to my channel, welcome you once, welcome you twice, welcome you to the Jules to Life. Now today I have some chicken thigh. I already have it washed and I have to slice it, but I cut off a lot of the fat. It was full of fat. Have some onions, some peppers, carrots, bok chow, broccoli, I'm sorry, and a variety of seasons here. So I'm going outside right now to get some scallions and some peppers from my garden, and we'll get started. Right now I'm cutting some peppers, and I believe this is, I want to say it's habanero, but I could be wrong. My husband does most of the gardening, so I want to spice it up today. So I got 3 habanero. I think they're habanero. And we're gonna go over here, and I have some chili peppers over here. I'm gonna go pick 1 chili pepper. And I have some jalapenos right there. Should I put jalapenos in there? Sure. Yeah, let me get a jalapeno. Oh, this is a huge one. From my garden. Actually, this is my husband's garden. He does most of the gardening, so you can check him out. It's Supreme Family Garden. He has his own channel and he does some awesome things over there. All right. Guys, now I'm going to be cutting my scallions. This is a huge one. We should have actually cut it a long time ago, but yeah, we're just not getting to it. So it's, and this guys grows so fast. Uh-oh, forgot I have. Alrighty. Yeah, smells good. I'm back. All right. I don't know why my daughter told me to do that. And anyway, so right now we're going to, she's actually coming to show us her skills, her culinary skills, because she's in culinary school. She's on summer break right now. So she's coming over, she's gonna cut the onions, the red peppers, and the scallions, and the peppers. And I'm gonna actually do the bok chow. I already cleaned it because you have to make sure you get in here clean, and I cut off the tip because this was actually grown in the ground, in case you didn't know, so it's a little dirty. It's like cabbage. So anyway, go ahead, Kiara. Her name is Kiara, but we call her Kiki.
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow me on Crafted by Kiki on Instagram. Yeah, we're gonna get started. We have an onion, it's already peeled, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna slice it right down the middle and keep the root intact, meaning that this piece right here is gonna keep it all together, so that way while I'm cutting it, it won't fall apart.
Excuse me guys, I'm gonna turn off my dryer because I hear it in the background and it's annoying me, so give me a second.
So first we're gonna start by making slices down your onion.
I should zoom in on what you're doing.
Okay. So now we made a bunch of slices going down, and we're gonna do about 2 slices across.
Don't cut your fingers. So Kiki, and this is not planned or anything. Why did you wanna become a chef?
Because I was always in the kitchen growing up.
I wonder who kept you in the kitchen.
Always watched my mom and my grandma cook for whether it was dinner, for family events, for other people. They also like to bake. So I was always in the kitchen helping them or watching them.
Yeah, she's the only not 7-year-old that wanted a pot set for Christmas. I don't think I've ever heard of that before, but yeah, she has more kitchen gadgets and everything more than I do. And she doesn't have her own apartment yet, but yeah, they're still here, and I've been buying them over the years because every Christmas she wants this and she wants that, and it's all dealing with the kitchen stuff. So I don't know, I love to cook too, so I think she kind of got some of that from me. But this is a fancy skill because see, I would have cut that onion, it would have been finished probably 10 minutes ago.
No, it would not have. This is actually the faster way to have diced onion. I don't have to chop through it
That's
again.
the textbook way.
Yes, the textbook way.
I have the old school way, but it, you know, okay, keep
It
learning.
will take you forever to get it into small pieces. I mean, you can chop through it.
Or you could use your chopper, which I do have, but
you should use.
We are trying to be like a real kitchen here. Okay, so I forgot I'm supposed to be doing this because this is actually dinner and this is Sunday afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. I forgot I have all my little church fancies, so I'm gonna put it over there. And yeah, so hands are already washed and clean. So the bok chow. Now you get this from any market. Actually, we don't have this in my garden, so that's why I had to buy it from the store. So we are going to cut it. It's pretty simple to cut. There's no right or wrong way to cut it in my book. Now a real chef might tell you something different. I think you cut it, I cut it just like I do collard greens. And this thick part here, guys, this is actually the best part. I love this part. So some people cut it off because they don't want too much. I like this part, and I think this is what makes the chop suey. But anyway, let's get cutting. Now you want to dice this up. It doesn't have to be in small pieces. You know, just chunks, mouthful pieces. Is that what the word? Mouthful pieces? Bite size. There you go. That's what it is. And my knife is over there. This knife is the. Okay, let me get my knife. All right.
Okay, so now we're on our last half of the onion. Once again, this was 2 onions that we've cut for this recipe.
And we have about, I want to say 8 chicken thighs, and they're boneless. Be careful, guys, not to cut your fingers when you're folding this bok chow. I hope I'm saying that right. That's how my mom says it, so. Bok chow. Woo! Almost cut my finger, Lord. Alright, let me slow down here now.
She looks good as you.
No, I'm not. Especially with, these are her knives and they're very sharp.
Because I make sure I keep my knife shut. Oh my gosh. My knives sharp. There we go. Get that part out.
No, I'll keep it in there.
Because in class, if the chef is demoing something and they come over and they're like, wow, your knife is not sharp. And they get real upset with that sometimes.
You get points taken off if your knife's not sharp?
You don't get points taken off, but I mean, it slows the class down, it slows your chef down because usually you might have to press
and they just call you out in front of everybody.
They're like, wow, why isn't your knife sharp? Your knife is one of the most important tools in the kitchen. Okay, so now we're gonna cut the bell pepper. I'm just gonna cut this into small dice. So, yeah.
And for this chop suey, you can put whatever you want to put in there. I'm just putting a bunch of different vegetables that my family likes. Not a bunch of different ones. I'm only probably doing bell peppers, carrots, broccoli, and bok chow. Yeah, but you could add stuff in there. I'm not adding corn or mixed vegetables because my daughter's allergic to corn. So that's part of the reason. And I was trying to get, what is it, snap peas? And I don't know, Walmart didn't have it. And they don't sell bean sprouts at Walmart. So, I don't know. Every time I go to try, I have to go to the market and get that whenever I want. This is a meal that I just had a craving for, and I figured, oh yeah, let me just do it. Okay guys, so we're gonna finish up this and then we're gonna come back.
Okay, so we're just finishing up cutting the bell pepper into dice. So right now I'm just cutting it into small slices. They don't have to be perfect. Line it all up so they can just chop it. That's it. Look at these pretty little tiny cubed pieces. Now next we're gonna slice up the scallion. This is fresh picked and cut from our garden outside. So I'm just gonna chop it. It's a lot, so we probably don't need this much. But we can always cut extra. We can use it for garnishing, just to add extra flavor at the end of our dish.
Hey guys, excuse the mess in the background over there. Things are just all over the place. Because, you know, renovation, and when you're doing it yourself, in between work, it just takes a lot. And so, you know, we're slowly doing things, but I just wanted to keep my videos going. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is, and I'm actually behind the camera, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to cut the chicken in smaller pieces. So stay tuned. Cutting my peppers. I'm not going to use this whole jalapeno because this is humongous. So I'm using this habanero. I cut one whole one, so I'm doing it in small pieces. And actually, this is pretty hot. I tasted a piece just now, and because we have a couple of different varieties out there. Not varieties, just different trees, and some hotter than others. So this one is a little hot, so I'm only going to use probably this much in there, which some people might think is a lot, but. And then I'm gonna put the jalapeno in there also, because the jalapeno to me gives it a different taste. So I'm not gonna use the seeds, because the seeds is where the heat comes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking out the seeds and I'm gonna save them, because what we do is my husband replants them again. And that's how you keep it going. You might have a few seeds here and there. Make sure you wash your hands from touching this pepper. Some people use gloves, I don't. But I would recommend you probably use, if you're not used to cooking much or cooking with peppers, you might want to use gloves. I didn't even use the whole thing. So anyway, so now we're going to cut the chicken. I already cleaned it off. I cleaned off most of the fat. Some is still on there, which is fine, but it just had a lot. So I'm going to cut this in smaller pieces. So they don't have to be too small. So I'm bad with measurement, guys, so I'm gonna say that's probably about 1 inch or 2, give or take. size pieces.
And when you
but
cook it, it's gonna shrink. So
yeah, some people buy it so bigger than others. So I don't know if we could really go by that. Let's see. I'm taking things out and then putting the chopped pieces in my bowl. And we're gonna have white rice with this. And this is for today's dinner. And since the kids are home from school, this could be lunch for them tomorrow and lunch for me to take to work. So that's why we're cooking a decent amount. Okay, guys. And again, you don't have to cut these. I would recommend cutting it because I've never seen big thighs like this in a chop suey. So I would just cut it in, you know, however you like to cut it. And then again, you season to taste. So I'm gonna add some adobo, some garlic powder, some onion powder, a little bit of cayenne, and I have some soy sauce. Actually, I'm not adding soy sauce, I'm adding teriyaki sauce. Soy sauce has a lot of sodium in it, so we're trying to watch our sodium intake. So I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna add the seasonings. Okay guys, now I have it all chopped up and I washed it again in some vinegar. And so now we're gonna add some seasoning to it. So I'm gonna add some onion powder. And again, your seasoning to taste. I'm gonna do some black pepper. And guys, if you don't like spice, you don't have to add these. I'm gonna do some adobo. I either use, this is usually my go-to seasoning, adobo, or all-purpose seasoning. Put a little bit of cayenne because remember guys, I have the pepper over there, so we're just gonna shake a little bit of cayenne in here. My family loves heat. And I have minced garlic. So I'm gonna put like a tablespoon of minced garlic in there. Actually, we like garlic and we like onion. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons. And we're gonna add just a little bit because we're marinating this and we're gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour. I have a little bit of time, so I'm just gonna let it probably sit for 30 minutes today. Usually I like it to, my meats to marinate for about an hour or so. I'm not gonna add the stir fry seasoning in there. So this is what it looks like. And you can use your hands or you can use a spoon or a fork. I'm gonna use my hands because I like to work the seasoning in. So I'm just gonna use my hands and work that in there. Guys, it smells amazing already. And it's not even cooking yet. I'm gonna add a little bit more teriyaki. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some seasoning from over here and I'm gonna just add a few of the scallions, the pepper, and the onion. And then I'm gonna mix that because all of this is gonna go seep right in through the chicken. As a matter of fact, I forgot one thing. I need to add ginger to this. So when we come back, I'm gonna add the ginger, and then once I come back, we're gonna start cooking. We're gonna fry. We're not really frying it till it's all the way cooked because it's gonna cook in that. So we're going to, what's the term I'm looking for?
Saute.
Saute it, or brown. As we say in Jamaica, we're gonna brown our chicken. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but we're gonna brown.
I didn't hear what you were trying to do.
So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna add some ginger, so don't forget your ginger. Ginger gives it a whole different taste. Okay? So guys, I'm gonna cover this and let it sit for 30 minutes. Okay guys, I'm adding the ginger. Normally I would use real ginger, but I didn't have any, but I do have ground ginger, which is the same thing. And just maybe a half a teaspoon of ginger. And again, you're gonna season to taste, okay? So I'm gonna mix this up and then let it sit for, as I said, 30 minutes. And yeah, you could already smell it. It's, you know what, I'm gonna add a little bit more ginger. Now you don't wanna do too much ginger because ginger could be overpowering. So, and it will give you a bitter taste, but it's smelling so good already. All right, okay guys, now we're going to brown our meat, our chicken. So my daughter taught me something. She said, first, you heat your pot to open up the pores of the pot. I didn't know that. So that's what I'm doing now. It's it's getting heated, and we're going to be using, I said why.
No, you to open up the pores of the pot, but why do you need to open the pores of your pot?
I don't know why.
So that way your food doesn't stink as much because you're adding your fat.
So the food, okay, she'll explain it. Go ahead, Kiara.
Okay, so basically you heat your pot to open up the pores, and then you put your fat in. So your fat can be your oil, your butter, your coconut oil in our case, and then that lubricates the pot and keeps your food from sticking in the end.
So now it should be ready, right? Yes. Now guys, I can cook. I'm just trying to learn the right way in doing stuff. Now, you can use any oil. We're using coconut oil. I would suggest, I'm not a nutritionist or a health expert, but they say coconut oil, olive oil are the most healthy. Stay away from canola, vegetable, corn oil, palm oil. Those are not as healthy as these are. So, we're letting that heat up a little bit. And again, we're not totally cooking the chicken. We are just merely browning the chicken to get some color. Okay, so I'm gonna say we're going to maybe cook it on the stovetop for probably about 10 minutes or so. Probably less. I've never really timed it, but it doesn't take that long. Then we're gonna add everything together and season again. So we're waiting for this to warm up. See, it's not quite melted. Now, if you do cook with coconut oil or coconut, in this case, the pressed coconut oil, it heats up very fast and it smokes fast. So you don't want to have your stove set at the highest temperature when you're melting it because it burns quick. Okay, so now we're just gonna put in the chicken pieces. You can just scoop them. It doesn't matter if there's an onion skin in there or anything. It doesn't matter. So we're just gonna put it in here. I'm not dumping it in here because there's some sauce in the bottom. So we're just using my hands. You can use a spoon, fork, whatever you like. I like to use my hands. And again, my hands are clean, so it's actually not really a lot of sauce in here. So, all right. So, let me get some of this stuff off my hands. So now you can bump up your stove a little. And as I said, we're just gonna let that cook a little bit. Actually, we can bump it up to high. And normally you don't want to overcrowd your pot, but in this case, it doesn't matter because we're just, pretty much trying to get some color on this while cooking it. So I'm gonna bump it. I'll leave it at 8. Now guys, I wish I had a gas stove. Gas stove to me is the best stove to cook on, but for now, we're doing electric. Let's bump it up a little bit on high to get it going a little bit more. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start cooking my rice because this doesn't take long. The bok chow actually cooks very fast. The broccoli is frozen broccoli, it's not fresh broccoli, so that's not gonna take long. So everything is pretty much cooked. So we're just gonna cook the chicken. So I'm gonna start the rice. Your rice again takes 20 minutes to cook. If your rice takes longer to cook, I don't know, but rice normally takes 20 minutes to cook, and we're gonna do it in the rice cooker. Okay guys, it's been about 5 minutes. So this is what my chicken looks like. It's ready to go. So I'm cooking in 2 pots because I'm doing a little bit more, and I didn't have a pot that's big enough to, actually my pot, I don't know how it ended up with a hole in it. But anyway, so we're going to add the onions to a little bit of coconut oil. We're gonna sweat it a little bit. It's gonna help to bring out the flavor. And just a little bit of coconut oil. So again, we're gonna let it melt. And then, it's all melted. And then we're going to add our onions and peppers, and we're gonna let that cook. And you can smell the aroma, people. This is like, I feel like I'm already eating this food, okay? So, we're trying to bring up some of the flavors. And then we're going to add our chicken. And I could actually turn this off right now. We're going to add our bok chow and our vegetables to this. And I'm going to take this off the heat because it's still cooking. And yes, guys, I can taste the pepper already. So now I'm going to add the bok chow. Tell you what, yeah, I'm going to add the bok chow. I'm going to do the broccoli last because the broccoli, keep it in the pot, people. Keep it in the pot. And see, I'm going to have to wait till this go down a little bit. Thank you. I don't know how my pot ended up with a hole, but it did. You know what? This is going to actually shrink big time. So we could put it all in there, and then I'll just mix it together after. I'm going to add some carrots. And this is just another way to get all your vegetables in. You add whatever vegetables you want to add to it. As I said, this is my version of this meal. I'm not going to do the broccolis yet, as I said. And we're going to add some parsley. And again, guys, don't forget your seasoning to taste. So whatever you want to season it with, I'm going to add a little bit more adobo in there. Not too much because I still have to add the chicken and garlic powder. You cannot go wrong with garlic. And then I'm going to add another teaspoon or so of garlic. And I know people might say, oh, that's a lot of garlic, but garlic is actually very good for you. So I'm going to do a teaspoon, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon. And we're going to add a little bit more black pepper. And then we're going to just turn it a little bit and mix this over so we get all the good juices all around the pot. And I'm sorry, guys, I don't have the right pot.
What type of pot would you normally do it in?
I would do it in Jamaica. The pot that I used, the one with the hole, is my Dutch pot. It's called a Dutch pot, not a Dutch oven. This is a thicker iron, cast iron pot. And it's wide, and so everything will just sit in there. It's wide and it's deep. I don't know, my daughter's back there trying to tell me something, and she thinks I can
It's not quite
this.
deep, it's just wide and it's kind of flat. But
I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like.
It has higher sides than a normal sauté pan.
This is it right here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
This is it. Now this was actually made in Jamaica. My mom brought it up from Jamaica. Rest in peace, Mom. But this pot, and I was so mad it has a hole in it, and so I have to replace it one day. Okay, back to the cooking. As I said, guys, it's going to shrink, and if you look in the pot, you can see already. Can you see that? It's already shrinking down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add, because I like my vegetables not cooked all the way. So I don't want it to get too mushy. That's why I didn't put in the broccoli as yet, because broccoli tends to get mushy. So we're gonna put all this in. You put all the oil and good juices in, because again, we're cooking with coconut oil, and coconut oil is healthy. So it's a good fat. So we're just gonna pour all of this in here. And all that garlic and everything. And pour it in, and we're gonna mix this up. And then we're going to let it simmer. I'm gonna add some, and actually guys, the right thing to cook this in is a wok, but you have to have the right stove for that, and I don't have a gas stove. So we're gonna add some more teriyaki, and remember guys, there's a lot of sodium in these, so you don't, my suggestion, don't add this and add soy sauce, because, and then add adobo or salt, because it will get very salty fast. And we're gonna do some stir fry sauce in this. Remember guys, I didn't marinate with this because this is a thicker sauce. I marinated with the teriyaki sauce. So we're gonna add a little, well, a good amount to it. This was half full, so, but again, you season and add to taste. And you don't have to use the stir fry seasoning. I just like the flavor, so I just added in there. And you don't have to add water to this, because the bok chow is pretty much made up of water. And I'm gonna add a little bit of sweet and sour to it. Just a little, guys. And again, season to taste. That was more than a little. I didn't mean to put that much, but you know what? It's going to be good, good, good. So we got some sweetness, we got some pepper. So we're gonna wake up all your taste buds today. All right guys, so I'm gonna turn this down to 2. And again, everybody's stove is different, so you have to gauge your stove. So I'm gonna turn this down and cover it. And then we're going to work on our rice. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna add the broccoli. Now remember, this is not fresh broccoli, it's frozen broccoli, which is already cooked. So we're gonna just put this in here to soak up some of the seasoning and warm up a bit, because I don't want the broccoli to get too soggy. So we're only gonna keep this in here for about 5 minutes or so. We're just gonna cook it for about 5 minutes, maybe less than that. No, I think 5 minutes will be good. And again, you want to turn it so the broccoli gets mixed in, and so it starts to get some of the flavoring in this. And guys, to me, this tastes better a day or 2 later. I say a day later. This is when you really feel or taste all the seasoning. Again, taste it to see if you need to add anything else. I'm so used to eyeballing and cooking this that I really don't taste my food when I cook. So we're gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes or so, but keep checking it. Okay? And I have my rice cooking in my aroma rice cooker. Now guys, I do know how to cook rice on the stove, but this is, to me, the best invention is your rice cooker. And I already have the rice in here. So it's the same amount of rice you put in here is the same amount of water you're gonna add. You could add your salt to it. You could add some garlic to it. You could add some onions, whatever you want to add to your rice. This is just plain rice because I have all the vegetables already in here. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of butter because I love butter in my rice. And again, I love, this is my favorite butter. It's smooth, and to me, it just makes everything taste, that needs butter taste that much better. So we're gonna let that cook for 20 minutes. Hello guys, this is the final product. This is my plate. I hope you guys like my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. God bless. Open up, open up.